This is the plaintiff, Tiffany Hurtado. She says she hired the defendant, a so-called photographer, to shoot a death to her 30s, ready for her 40s photo shoot. The guy botched the job. He didn't have the right props she paid for, and he still hasn't sent her any of the pictures. She's here in the name of justice suing this phony for the $300 she paid him. This is the defendant, Michael Lee Smith. He says he has no idea what this woman's beef is because she told him he was the best after the photo shoot. She posted pictures to her Facebook page without his permission. Her husband libeled him, and if anyone's owed money today, it's certainly not the plaintiff. He's accused of not getting the picture. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $10,000 for 12 counts of copyright infringement.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff hired a photog to take a picture of her kissing her 30s goodbye and says the guy blew it and she wants some money in return. But the defendant says he went above and beyond for this woman and this is the thanks he gets. It's the case of, picture this, you're sued.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
All right, Ms. Hurtado, tell me what happened.
Well, I posted on Facebook a few months prior to my birthday, seeking a photographer to take these pictures. I'm turning 40, and I wanted to do a death to my 30s photo shoot. Michael reached out to me, and he just was very energetic and open, showed me pictures of his work prior, and I felt really comfortable with him, so I went ahead and hired him for my photo shoot.
He was going to charge you how much?
Roughly $300.
How roughly $300?
Well, because there was a $50 deposit, and then $100 after that, and then we added some hair and makeup, which was $40, and then I added my husband into one of the photos,
Right.
and that was another $40.
Right. And that, when I add those figures, I come up with $230, not $300.
Correct. There was also props that I had to buy.
Oh, you bought
from
your own
Party
props.
City.
You bought props. Is that what you're referring to
Yes.
when you say roughly 300? Okay. All right.
Yes.
So what was the vibe that you had wanted?
The vibe was outside, under trees, gloomy, dark, maybe like kind of cemetery-ish, but
Yeah.
not in a cemetery, obviously.
Right.
And that I was just kind of like killing my 30s, you know?
Right,
like,
right.
Goodbye, I'm coming into my 40s. And
All right. So when did
let's
you first
celebrate.
decide that you were unhappy, and what was the first thing you were unhappy with? The hair?
The hair and makeup after it was done at my home, yes.
Right. And why were you unhappy?
It was totally opposite of what we had discussed prior.
What
to
had
the
you
photo
discussed
shoot.
about the eyeshadow?
We discussed that we would do more of like a classic pinup, not so heavy on the eyes.
Okay, but weren't you watching while they were doing it so you could say, no, wait?
I was not.
Why not?
Because I wanted to be surprised and I did not want to look at myself.
What
I
are you
didn't want to
for?
look at myself.
I mean, come on, like you're paying for a service. You want the service to be what you want it to be. You're taking pictures that are meant for posterity. Why wouldn't you just watch and make sure it's what you want it to be? And
They were so on board, and
okay,
I had
so
pictures
once you
of the
did, I mean,
makeup
did you
artist
not know
work.
they were putting colorful eyeshadow on you, or did you know that they were putting colorful eyeshadow on you?
I didn't know at the time.
Okay, so now you turn around and you see the colorful eyeshadow, and what do you say?
I see the colorful eyeshadow and black lipstick, and I was taken back. There was 3 of them in the room, and they were like hyping me up. You look so good. You look so good. And I'm like, yeah, it looks good. And I just kind of didn't know what to say at that point. We were already running late, and I just went with the flow.
Wait, why would you go with the flow running late? I mean, it takes like 20, if it takes another 20, 30 minutes, it takes another 20 or 30 minutes to get the look that you want. Why don't you just get the look? Are you saying that they kind of talked you into it and now you regret it?
Actually, the makeup and hair was only supposed to take roughly 40 minutes. We were already over an hour late. We were losing daylight. This was done outside.
What time of the
And-
day or night did you do this photo shoot?
I think we started around 4:30, closer to 5 maybe.
And
I can't recall.
When? This was in May, right? Or April?
Yes, beginning of May.
How long did you expect the photo shoot to last?
Probably a couple of hours because we had different shoots, different.
How long did the photo
angles we were
shoot
doing.
last?
About 2 hours.
Okay.
And I've never seen these pictures that are being shown
Well,
to
of
me
course
right
you
now.
didn't, because you didn't get the pictures, right? And
No,
that's what
no.
this trial is about. Why didn't you? All right.
Right.
So, but I'm trying to find a good picture of your makeup. So when you see the makeup, if you don't like it, why don't you just tell them to change it? I know how long it takes. So because every time you see me here, someone has done it to me. So I get it, but it doesn't take that long. I think that you probably said, okay, it looks cool. I like it. Did you ever complain to them? I want to know if you ever complained to them, I don't like how this is going. You need to stop. I want to change this. I want to change that.
I did complain about the makeup and the hair, yes.
All right. When he was going to take pictures of your husband, because you asked him to take pictures of your husband alone as well, right?
No.
What
my
did you
husband was
ask
supposed
him?
to be to take a picture of me and my husband together. And
Okay.
he took my husband off and did his own photo shoot, and then he did several of me and my husband.
Right, but hold on. He said to you, if you want to include another person, it's going to be another $40. And what did you say to
Yes.
him?
That's fine.
Great. So now everybody's on board. It's $230 photo shoot, and that's what's going to happen. He takes pictures of you. He takes pictures of your husband. And then what happens? Then do you post these pictures? Because he's got a counterclaim against you for 10 grand for copyright infringement.
No, what had happened is we started communicating after the photo shoot. I sent him more money. I did again tell him, hey, look, this did not turn out the way I
How
planned
did you
it,
tell
the
him
way
that?
I
Is
liked.
that in a text?
Yes, it is. It's all right
Hold
there.
on.
I can tell you the exact date that she said she wanted a refund.
When was it?
May 22nd at 4:14 p.m.
All right. Can I ask you, when was the photo shoot?
May 1st.
May 1st. Okay. And when
Yep,
was
and
she
it
was?
wasn't.
What were you going to provide to her? Just you were going to provide edited pictures?
Correct. Yes, ma'am. She would get all of her edited images via Dropbox with a print release. Her remaining balance was only $40. She actually paid for her photo shoot in full the day of her shoot, which left the remaining balance of $40. Her total photo shoot was $190. The hair and makeup was $75.
Okay. So all she owed was another $40?
Correct, for the addition of her husband.
All right. When does she complain about, I'm not sure I love the look? When does she do that?
During all of my photo shoots, I do behind the scenes pictures and videos. I have videos that I've sent you to where she absolutely loved her experience from beginning to end. At the end of the photo shoot, we even did a referral video to where she praised me and how much she loved me and how much she loved the entire photo shoot. All right. Now, with this being your first time photographing with me, what you think?
I was a little skeptical at first, but then I was like, okay, he's got some creativity behind him. So I
Right.
said, just let you run with it, and I had a blast. After the first 5 minutes, I wasn't afraid to get dirty, to get in there, to be uncomfortable. He made me so comfortable. I had fun, and I'm definitely gonna shoot with him again.
Why are you doing that if no one's listening to you and they're running roughshod on you, Ms. Hurtado?
I did do that. He
Well,
asked
then,
me
but
to
why
do
would
that.
you do that? If they're so terrible and you want all your money back, why would you do that?
The experience with him, this was my first photo shoot. He asked me to do it. I complied.
I don't know
And
what
I
you're
was
saying.
hoping-
You
because-
wanted a photo shoot to
because-
celebrate
yes.
you turning 40, and you hired somebody to do it. If it was a horrible experience for you, why on earth are you doing a recommending video to others to do it?
Because it wasn't a horrible experience. I didn't get the outcome that he promised.
Well, you don't
He
even know what the
promised
outcome is
me-
because you haven't seen the pictures, right?
Well, I've seen rough pictures, yes.
Okay, so you see some pictures,
those are
and
the
then
pictures he's
and then they're so
referring to
horrible
that I
that you
posted.
that you post the pictures he sends you. You post them on Instagram or Facebook.
Never once did he tell me I could not post them. I could not show other
Wait,
people.
well, that's
I
his.
posted on
Okay,
my
that's his
Facebook,
work, and
Here's a sneak peek
Right,
of
but-
my photo shoot. I didn't receive these pictures.
okay.
Because you have a $40 remaining balance is why you didn't
Yes.
receive them.
Well, let's talk about that. Because he needs to be paid in full before you get all the pictures. All you had to do was pay $40 and you would get all these pictures edited like you wanted. You had a
Correct.
birthday party and you expected to be able to show these pictures at the party, but you
Correct.
weren't able to. But whose fault is that?
He promised me
Mr.
before my
Smith-
birthday that I would have all my pictures.
Sure. And did you pay the $40?
No, I didn't because
Right,
I was
and
worried
that's
that
why
he
you
wasn't
don't
gonna
have your
send them
pictures,
because
honey.
you can
What do you
see-
think this is? It's you pay the $40 and then you go to court and then you sue him for your money back if you're unhappy. But you're not going to get pictures if you
No.
don't pay the $40. I've just never in my life had a case where what we were arguing about was $40 for pictures.
No, I'll explain
For
it to you.
pictures.
During
no,
our conversation
stop talking.
in Facebook,
And I want to hear from Mr. Smith. You've done 90% of the talking. Mr. Smith, you have a $10,000 lawsuit against them for 12 counts of copyright infringement. Explain that to me.
Okay, I've been a professional celebrity photographer 30 years. Every one of my business clients, I do all the conversations in Facebook Messenger, and that's how I show my samples, and that's how I save my conversations. I strictly forbid anyone, even celebrities, to screenshot, download any of my content via social media, simply because either two things.
Did she sign
It's going-
something? I just want to know, did you have her sign something that said that?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. Her booking confirmation that has to be accepted in order for me to show up to the photo shoot clearly states it, and from A to Z what you are allowed to
I'm
do,
sorry,
not
so
to do with
do
my
you end
content.
up with something with her signature on it?
No, ma'am, I just have an Google booking confirmation acceptance.
All images provided via social media are never to be downloaded nor screenshot assembly because it lessens the quality of my work. No images or video content of any kind will be provided until final payment is received. By the way, the copyright laws are very strict and they require you, before you come to court to sue for them, to file a registration for the items in question with the Library of Congress.
Welcome back to the People's Court. The plaintiff says that this photo shoot was a disaster. She wanted a memory, a photo of kissing her 30s goodbye, says the defendant blew it. He says very much the opposite. Let's go back into the courtroom and find out who's right.
I have never had another problem seeking compensation with copyright infringement with other major billion-dollar companies.
Right. So the $1,000 of your lawsuit that's for slander and defamation, where does that come in?
Where her husband or whoever he is to her, I posted a video on my Instagram and it said celebrating 29 years of being a professional photographer. He commented 29 years of being a piece of.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds personal as opposed to a defaming.
But it was on
Right.
on a public post.
Right.
for
No, sue
all
him
other-
for it. That's not her. Just because,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
that's not her. So now, did you have any? If the photo shoot takes place on May 1st, and you send her some pictures, because is she in fact telling you, I'm worried that the look in the end now in retrospect, I'm not sure that I love it, and you send her the pictures? Does she tell you these are awful? I hate these.
No, ma'am. She never said that she hated the pictures.
In fact, did she say the opposite of that and say how wonderful everything was?
Correct. Yes, ma'am. She did.
Okay, so the real problem happens when you report the husband to, is it Instagram where he posted it?
Yeah, there's 3 images that he didn't have my permission to use, and Instagram removed those 3 images because they are in violation of copyright.
Ms. Hurtado, I've never, $40 doesn't buy you a lot these days. And after going through all of this work and going through all of this trouble and spending all of these hours, how bad could the pictures be? I mean, I'm looking at the pictures, and yeah, you've never seen the pictures because you wouldn't pay the $40. All you had to do was pay the $40. How are they looking to you? Can you see the photos?
I can't see them.
They're not worth $40?
These are definitely not edited pictures. All
No,
that
they're
stuff
not.
behind
No,
me is not
he
supposed to
readily
be there.
admits they're not edited. That's right, they're not.
Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't- I
because you
didn't
owe
hear that
40
part. I'm sorry.
bucks. You know what? No. On your lawsuit against him, 0. Because until you pay the 40 bucks, you don't get the rest of the pictures. And on his
I
lawsuit,
don't even want the pictures at this
great.
point.
Well, that certainly seems like your wish will be granted. And on your lawsuit
has.
against her for $10,000, because you didn't file the requisite, there's it's a condition precedent to being able to sue under the copyright laws, to have the items registered. So I am ruling against you on the counterclaim as well. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So it's a 0-0 tie here in the People's Court. Neither party wins their lawsuits. Ms. Hurtado, because of the $40, you're not going to be able to get the $300. That probably is the way it works out. And it looks like you're never going to get the pictures. Are you so upset you don't want them now that you've really gotten a good glimpse of them? What do you think?
No, you live and you learn, and they did not come out the way I asked them to come out, for them to come out. So he can keep them.
All right. Well, you don't win, and I'm sorry, but that's it. And let me talk to you, Mr. Smith. Number one, I think you learned the complication, the legal hazard here of why you can't collect any money, right? You've learned something about that?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, yes, sir.
The second thing is, if I hire you to take pictures of me, why don't I have the right to do whatever I want with them? I'm paying for them. Why not?
Well, you do. Well, you do have the right to do whatever you want with your images once you pay for them in full.
All right. Well, I'm sorry you lost the $10,000 lawsuit, but you gained some knowledge. So it was not
you, sir,
a loss
very much.
after all, right? Very good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Okay. And that'll bring this case to a close. Harvey, I think everybody learned something here today. What do you think?
Doug, this is actually really interesting and a very common issue. Sometimes people are in a dispute and they're at various stages where they try to settle the dispute and then somebody pulls the trigger and goes to court. If the settlement is fully executed, that's it. Even if you would have been owed more had you gone to court, you can't take a second bite of the apple. But if it's just settlement discussions and they break down, then you're free to go for the full Monty in a courtroom. But if it's settled, you're out of luck.
When my brother died 2 months ago, his car was at a friend's house getting worked on. When I went to get the vehicle back, the friend told me that the job would cost $1,800. He has no receipts or anything. How can I go about getting my brother's stuff? Do I have to pay for the repair?
This doesn't sound very legit. This guy sounds like maybe a shade tree mechanic or a friend who happens to have the car there. He can't produce receipts for the stuff that he put in it or anything at all. He just said, give me $1,800. Now, you have to first figure out whether the person who's asking this question has the title to the vehicles as well. I mean, they were his brother's cars. Does he now have the titles because they were given to him or something in the estate?
Now, in most states, cars are exempt from having to go through probate. And so is she the executor? Is she the only living heir of this person?
Right.
So the point is that the car can be taken away from where it is by calling the police. It's the question is who calls the police?
Well,
whoever is his heir next of kin is who has to call the police.
Right. Do you think the police will do it? It
They
depends,
might, because
it depends on the locality and the police.
It depends
and
on
what their
1,000
attitude
things.
is
If
about
they
it.
look at him and they say to the guy, you say you did $1,800 worth of work, that you put into this, put into that, put into the other thing.
Right.
Show us proof that you paid for those items.
Right.
You know, they'd at least be in a better position to extract the information.
Right,
from
and they might just, explain the facts of life to the guy, and the guy might yield and just say, yeah, okay.
Or they may say, it's a civil matter, and walk off.
Go to court. Go do
There's
something else,
1,000 alternatives, but you might as well try it because it's the free alternative.
Right. Well, what about this alternative? If the guy leaves the things parked out on the street, you get a tow truck, hook them up, and take them away. You got title to your cars.
Well, the problem with that is, what if the guy really did do the work, and the deceased told him, yeah, I need you to do this $1,800. Yes, I'll pay you $1,800, and then you're towing it away.
Right.
So
and
you got to be careful.
You're stiffing the guy.
Yes,
He's got a potentially legitimate claim to the $1,800.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might not be the best option.
No.